living the life of God. Reprogram your mind. Part 2, you are in the Spirit. So that, assuming that anyone is in Christ, he is a creation new in quality. The antiquated, out-of-date things which do not belong to the new life in Christ Jesus have passed away. Behold, all things have become new in quality. 2 Corinthians 5:17 West. This is the most exciting state to be in this world, the state of the new creation, where all the limitations of earth life, everything that does not characterize Christ, have passed away. And everything of Christ's unlimited life is now fully present in you. This being the case, the immediate next reality for you is Romans 12:2 West, and stop assuming an outward expression that does not come from within you, and is not representative of what you are in your inner being, but is patterned after this age. But change your outward expression to one that comes from within and is representative of your inner being, by the renewing of your mind. This means, stop operating like you are still under the limitations of this earth life, and start operating from the unlimitedness of the Christ life that now forms your inner being, your true self. Do this by changing the way you think about yourself and life in this world. Change your thinking about yourself. You are a creation new in quality, of God quality. Because as he is, so are we in this world. 1 John 4:17. Change your thinking about your life in this world. You are now of a superior nature, with God's superiority. That's why God says in 1 John 4:4, you are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. The reason, Romans 8:8, says, those who are in the flesh cannot please God, is because Galatians 5:17 NKJV reveals that the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one another. Or as Message puts it, there is a root of sinful self-interest in us that is at odds with the free spirit, just as the free spirit is incompatible with selfishness. These two ways of life are antithetical. Romans 8:7-8 Message puts it this way, focusing on the self is the opposite of focusing on God. Anyone completely absorbed in self ignores God, ends up thinking more about self than God. That person ignores who God is and what he is doing. And God isn't pleased at being ignored. Self-interest or selfishness is an antichrist spirit. That is what Romans 8:8 calls the flesh. Romans 8:9 NKJV says, but you are not in the flesh but in the Spirit. But you do feel prompted, and find yourself often yielding to selfishness, looking after your own interest at the expense of others. You feel it, and you act it. Yet Romans 8:9 says, but you are not in the flesh but in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now if anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his. That's a clear illustration of you assuming an outward expression that does not come from within you, and is not representative of what you are, in your inner being. You are simply adjusting to, and flowing along, with the selfish life patterns of this age. God, who recreated you, and can see what and where you really are, says, you are not in the flesh but in the Spirit. Yet your actions are being driven by self-interest. And if you can flow along with the selfish life patterns of this age, you can flow along with the selfless God-like nature of your recreated spirit. You just have to adjust your thinking and rebuild your consciousness. So Romans 12:2 West says, and stop assuming an outward expression that does not come from within you, and is not representative of what you are in your inner being, but is patterned after this age. But change your outward expression to one that comes from within, and is representative of your inner being, by the renewing of your mind.